Hello, everyone, and welcome to another community update. This is a special one because it's on a Tuesday rather than a Monday. It is February 5th, and as always, we're gonna have Fix here come in and just give us an update about the general development, and then we have Fix jump in to give an update on the organizational side of things, and I'll just come back in to kind of give a wrapped up of everything I've been up to as well. So, it's Fix here. Take the stage.
Yeah, sure. So I guess first what I'll talk about is the side state and what's happening with that. So we've started working on the proof of stake aspect of the side state. We don't currently have an estimate as to when that's going to be launched. 1.0 of the side state is fairly close to being ready to launch. We're just really finishing up some internal testing before we push through on that. So it should come fairly soon. It's pretty much ready to deploy, but
Mm, mm,
um, there is a few things that we want to get done with that first. Um, in terms of what's going on in terms of the form development, as that's where my attention has mainly shifted for the time being,
mm,
um, there have been a lot of bug fixes that have happened over the last week. So, for example, there's been an issue fixed with YouTube embedding.
mm,
We fixed some bugs with analytics that allow us to better gauge our user audience on the forum and understand how we could improve the experience for them. We
mm,
fixed a few like random bugs like Reddit icons, referendum embedding, certain spam threads not being hidden, and the unsub and sub not updating.
okay.
As for the UI UX as a whole, um, have been some updates there, like improved navigation, improved scrolling, and there's been some overall improvements in terms of the mobile UI, which is where we've now
Mm,
shifted that focus. And just to add a point to that, Code Blue has been doing a lot of this work in terms of really improving the UI and user experience. He's been doing like a really great job on that so far.
mm,
Um,
agreed, agreed.
And I think the only major feature to really talk about in terms of like the form that's really recently been added is we finally added account state saving. And so what that is it allows us or allows a user to have the same subs and like notifications across different devices. And so that's relative to their EOS account or their anonymous identity private key.
Mm,
And so
mm,
this means when you sub on one device and you log in on another device, your subs will stay consistent between the two devices, and so will your notifications. And luckily, now that we've updated it and improved it a little more, this only actually requires one signature per session.
mm,
So the first time you log in, maybe if you unsub or sub or you go to your notifications, you might be prompted for a signature. It's perfectly normal. Once you accept that signature, throughout the rest of your session until you actually log out, you should never be asked for a signature again, for the most part.
mm, mm.
So yeah, a lot of good stuff is going on with the forum and some more improvements to come in the very near future.
Yeah, yeah. I'm personally very excited about the account state saving. I do a lot of answering on almost like email. Like I wake up, I see what post is there, I answer, I tip some different tokens. So it's really nice to be able to transition from my desktop to my mobile device without having to like go all crazy looking for the subs. And I don't have my notification flooded. So that's an amazing feature. You guys also might have noticed the token icons. So I know this is a small touch, but it just makes it that much more usable. Now, at a glance, you could know exactly which subs you're looking at. We also added a bunch of more default subs, just so people coming in for the first time could have easy access to those subs instead of go hunting for them one by one by scrolling through the fees. Speaking of the fees, we actually now have a collapse view. So before all the posts just have like it's like a big card, um, kind of like a window, and it has a preview of the post, which is great. If you just want to leisurely scroll through everything, but if you want a little bit more information dense user interface, now you can hit the condense view button, and it will collapse the post to only have the token icon and the title and who made the post. So that's a very great feature. I've been using it a lot. It looks very good. So yeah, go check it out if you haven't already. So yeah, I'm gonna hand the stage over to Fix to give us an update on the organizational side of things. So Fix.
Yeah, thanks. All right, so we are in the process now where we or have either mailed or are mailing our identification documents to the management company that will be managing our foundation in Mauritius, and there's been a little more delays than I was hoping for, mostly based on their end and kind of the slow pace of business and the exceedingly high number of public holidays they seem to have. Um, so that is, the kind of questions have been answered in the back and forth that have taken a little bit longer to kind of iron out the specific details of what we're trying to accomplish with this foundation have been dealt with. So now it's just a matter of them getting um, our physical copies, and they have reserved the Novusphere Foundation as the name of the foundation. So we're set to get that going, have our bank account funded, and start getting towards the business of doing what the foundation's main focus is, which is you know pursue listings on exchanges that require KYC from the partner, from the people who are involved in the project, and do other community initiatives that require a little bit more of a formal organization. So it's moving along. Hopefully by next week they'll have received all our documents, and we'll have a more concrete timeline about when we'll actually have the foundation legally established.
Very cool, very cool. So the organization side of things is a little bit slow just because you're dealing with legal stuff, you're dealing with lawyers, so that's kind of to be expected. But we are making progress. Yeah, Fix. You have something to say?
Yeah, I think it's right. It's slower than we anticipated, but it is progress
Mm-hmm.
nonetheless. And I don't think it'll. I think we're kind of over the hump in terms of the things that were taking a long time in my mind were just kind of some of the barriers in language barriers trying to understand a technical project. So not that their English is bad, but just when you're trying to explain technical things, it's a little bit different than um, trying to explain kind of the mundane things. So anyhow, I think we're turning the corner on that, and we should have good news by our next Monday update in terms of them having received the documents, and the process actually moving forward. So,
Mm. Okay, cool, cool. So I see that we have a new viewer here, and his name or her name is Japanese. So that's interesting. I don't think I've seen him or her before. Uh, so if you want to say hi, that's cool. If not, that's cool also. I just want to say one thing is that um, if you want to know what the latest thing is happening, go check out the forum. Again, it's eos.discussions.app. Lots of people are posting there. We have people writing posts there that are getting a lot of attention from the EOS community. The tobacco dudes are responding to them. Just overall, we're having a lot of great community engagement. And yeah, so yeah, we're having a lot of great community engagement, and we're gonna keep working on that. Keep putting ourselves out, injecting ourselves into the conversation, so people know that this is the place to be to talk about EOS related articles, and in the future, everything in general. So that's it for me. So if you guys have anything to add, please unmute yourself, and yeah. So an update on some user numbers. So we actually just crossed 2,000 unique visitors. So as Fixia said before, we only started the new Google Analytics tracking actually like right after New Year. So within a month, we have gone from 0 to 2,000, and we're averaging about 150 daily active users per day, which is great. And again, we're gonna keep pushing on that. The if you check our numbers on that radar, that's not exactly accurate because a lot of users come, they read, they don't really interact. Some of them comment, and the contract we're using is the EOS form contract, which is a system contract. So the numbers on that front is a little iffy. But our daily active user count is around 150 right now, and we sometimes we peak at 180, which is great. And I think after we get listed on some more changes, we're gonna get more attention.
Yeah, that sounds pretty awesome. It definitely shows that we're slowly growing.
Hmm.
Uh, I think for the time being we're gonna end up with a lot more lurkers than there are people actually interacting and posting. But hopefully that number of people like posting content natively to the forum will start to grow over time as well.
Hmm. Hmm. Interesting note. I guess the airdrop stack had a huge Indonesian community, and one of those users started to translate posts across the board in our in our form. So he's like translating posts not only for airdrop stack but also for Pix EOS. So that's really cool. I've been tipping him. You know, I know we haven't made a concerted effort to reach out to Indonesian community, but apparently there's a sizable community there. So really cool to see people are taking initiative and doing things in the forum.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to reiterate one point that Vix brought up in the chat on the analytics. Yeah, so our current analytics that Jack just referred to when he mentioned breaking 2,000 users and having about 150 180 users every day. That doesn't actually include ad block users, and I think a lot of people in crypto that are at least on their desktop are using ad block browser extensions, and unfortunately that prevents us from actually being able to track analytics about those users on the forum. So even though we don't have actually any ads on the forum, we're unable to get that information. So our user count might actually be a little higher than that, but we're not exactly sure the exact numbers on that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean everyone I know has an ad blocker on, so yeah, maybe we're just capturing a tiny percentage of our actual users.
Yeah, and just to kind of put this out there, I mean, I think people should feel using the forum right now is sort of a way to help us test it. I mean, issues come
Hmm.
up all the time when someone tries to post something that is maybe a little bit non-standard, and then it unveils a bug that we didn't see before. And so the more of our kind of users who are engaging and messing around in there, I think the better the product's going to get. So particularly people who are involved with this Discord, who stop in from time to time, if they're in there doing stuff, they may notice things that look weird, or are broken, or we have a lot of code changes happening pretty rapidly. So it's helpful. So people should, I mean, even in raising those issues on the forum is also a perfectly legitimate way of going about it as well. If you notice it, you can post it in there. So just want to point that out, that's very helpful. The kind of feedback we're getting.
Mm-mm. Okay, so anything else to add?
Yeah, so we were asked in the chat, do we have a Japanese community?
Hmm.
So to my knowledge, on 5 channel, there was a discussion thread that was
Hmm.
happening on. Let me see if I can find the link really fast.
Actually, I that's actually one thing I really wanted to do. I was typing, but I would just say it. I reach out to the Japanese BP, but like their Telegram channel is just completely nothing. So if you could help us start this Japanese community channel, that would be amazing. So I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm just gonna say Cat.
That's okay. I put the English spelling of the name.
Okay, Zutaro. Probably
There you
butchering it. Yeah. Let us know if you can help.
Yeah, we'd definitely love to like this outreach to some of the other community, the non-English speaking communities, because
Mm,
obviously there is a divide, and we know that there is some um other communities out there.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um, so we are going to like it's been in the plans for a long time to make outreaches to these communities. So if you can help us with that, um, you know, we're
Mm-hmm.
more than willing to work with you.
Yeah, not only Japanese. I mean, even English communities, we're growing. Oh, that's unfortunate. But we could still work it. We could still work it out because when I was working with the Indonesian person, he did not speak very well English either. So we could make things work. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, even for the English community, we're growing so quickly that like I'm almost having a little bit of trouble managing everybody. So please jump into the Telegram, answer questions, like comment on the forum. If people are asking questions, I started FAQ. So there's lots of things that I would love to see community members just doing. There are a few residents of is that five chan or
It's 5 channel.
what's 5 channel?
It's the site I linked.
Oh, okay.
It's like a message board.
It's not connecting for me for whatever reason.
Oh, that's strange. But yeah, there's been a lot of discussion on that particular site with the Atmos community. I mean, it's like fairly slowed down a lot since the bull market of 2017, early 2018. But I'm sure there's still some folks around there,
Okay.
and I believe the biggest holder of this coin is actually from the Japanese community as well. So
It must be Satoshi. I have Atmos since last year.
yeah, so there have been people that have been around for a long time, and hopefully we can really start to make some strides this year, and Atmos can really start to shine. At least that's our intention.
Yeah, yeah.
So leads me into a question, Paul. So originally the goal was to have the foundation, set up in January, and there's obviously been some delays regarding that, not due to the foundation, but due to the Mauritius setup procedure. So do you, or with your discussions with Brian, do you guys have any new estimate as to how long it would take to set up?
I kind of am hesitant to put out an estimate until they've actually received our documents in case there's something amiss or they have a problem with them.
Hmm.
But from my understanding, assuming that our identity documents are acceptable to them and they can just go about the business of setting them up, the actual delay from having all the things they need from us to the foundation being established is quite short from that point. So it within a week. From what I understand, they can have a bank account and the foundation registered. So it's not, it doesn't move, slowly after that point. Apparently, a bank account is a much faster established thing in Mauritius than it is in other places. Like where, for example, Switzerland, it may take like a month to get your bank account established. So, assuming everything is correct with our documents and they've received them all sometime next week, then the following week we hopefully will have the good news that we have the foundation established and funded and everything.
Yeah,
Yep,
that
yep.
sounds good.
Okay. I think it's pretty overwhelming for our Japanese community member. All this English we're doing around. So if that's all, please stay on. I am just gonna end the recording. So yeah, anything else to add before I end the recording?
No, I don't really have anything to add. Like I said, expect a lot of, people asked before there was a period of time, maybe in December, where there seemed to be a stall in development because there wasn't really a lot of things going on in terms of like the form development. But February and the lighter part of January, there's been a lot of stuff going on in terms of the form development. So everyone's going to start seeing a lot of visual changes starting to happen, and the type of changes where you're seeing really fast results coming out. So, like as Fix mentioned earlier, there's a lot of code that's being pushed out really fast, and so yeah, stay tuned on that.
and a lot more partnerships to come as well. As you guys know, we just partnered with Airdrop Stack. They ran a very successful community campaign, a slogan contest that's still ongoing. They have something like 20 something entry right now. It's definitely the most popular post on the forum by far. So go check that out if you haven't done already. Like I said, there's gonna be more partners coming on. So lots and lots of stuff are happening. So much stuff, as a matter of fact, that I'm having a hard time to keep track of it. That's why there wasn't a community post last week. So yeah, tons of things are happening. Follow us on Telegram. We have a new announcement channel on Telegram as well. We're very active on Twitter, and obviously the forum is the best place. When you make a post on there, every single one of us is going to see it. So okay, so team, just say goodbye to the recording. Again, you can stay on the.
All right. Thanks, Jack. Appreciate
Okay.
it.
Thanks everyone for coming out.
You
Thanks
got
for
it.
listening.
Thanks for listening. Catch you guys next time.